Okay, I think that Anthony had covered all the major part or the factual information about the individual award. For my part, I'm going to share my personal story or my personal experience on joining this program. My name is Chris Chan, and I represent AIA last year to participate the Distinguished Trainer Award, and I got fortunately to go through the final round. So I would like to give you my brief information. I have been playing a number of roles, head of management learning and business learning, number of industry, banking, insurance, and telecommunications. And I have participated in both campaign and individual awards. And also last year, I co-trained in both Distinguished and Outstanding New Trainer Awardees. And also I know some of my ex-colleagues, they joined with me, and probably they may have some idea to share, okay? So this is my presentation outline. I will talk about, share some important data. Some of them have already been covered by Anthony, but I will have some highlight or key point to share with you. Some of the judging criteria, and most important of all is the tips for writing and the presentation. And if you are competent and fortunate enough to go through the final round, then I have some final tips for you. And the benefit come with this individual award. First, for the important day, there's a number of milestones or activity that you need to be prepared. After you have submit your entry form, nomination form, probably you need to select or nominate a signature program or trainer to participate in this program. And you got a 1 month time, just 1 month. It's quite important. Don't procrastinate it, because time is quite limited, because most of you, probably you are conducting training, design training, you are working full time. You need to set a time to prepare the way up and get all those stakeholders involved. If you need to, like a business leader, corporate communication, HR, your supervisor, your peers, or business leader, they may have interest to review your paper. So give them enough time to have the review. The responsible trainer, probably he or she will prepare the first draft. And right after, like last year, we will have a peer review, and then we will give the paper to our supervisors to have a review. So it takes a lot of time. So be prepared. Regarding the write-up submissions, there are 4 pages. You need to cover all the judging criteria. It's quite structural, quite systematic, only 4 pages. Regarding the 1-page personal information, we cover our brief background. Some of us will have our own story and your continuous improvement, how you strive for excellence in a page. And then you got 1 month to prepare the presentation. The good news is that all the participants are invited for the interview sections. So you have 1 month to prepare the deck. I know some of the company, they may invite a graphic designer or external parties to prepare the graphic design. So be prepared and have sufficient time for that. Because the responsible trainer, probably he or she will do the first draft first, prepare the text. And then we will invite some of the parties to prepare the graphic. So regarding the interview sections, on the ONTA, there's 2 parts. Anthony had already covered on that. I would like to point out the 30 minutes training delivery. For the trainer or for the prospective participant, you may think about some of the scenario before the competition, like conducting an orientation or a training program like selling, customer service, or culture training, something like that, to have a topic to be prepared, some scenario that you can prepare beforehand. Once after you finish the presentation, you got 30 minutes to prepare a topic for you. Okay, so for the distinguished trainer, it's just straightforward, 15 minutes presentation. And if you are competent and fortunate, then you will go to the final round. So I will be quick to share some of the pieces. This has already been covered by Anthony. The difference between the 2 is the outstanding new trainer. You demonstrate that you are playing a key role. For a distinguished trainer, you have to demonstrate that you play a leading role. The difference is that how you engage the stakeholder, how do you get the buy-in, how did you influence the stakeholder? And another item that I would like to point out is how did you strive to excel in your training professional, how you enhance the training and development capability, how you contribute to the success of your company, or even go beyond your company and contribute to the well-being of the community. So some of the tips, I got 4 S. That is structure, substance, spectral, and story. For structure itself, if you have a well-formed structure, it's easier for the judge to understand and give you marks. It's quite important. You just follow the judging criteria, answer or adjust all those questions, then you have a structure, well-formed structure. And after that, you need to have a solid substance. What I mean solid substance is you got a specific data, key performance indicator, evidence, or testimonial to show the success of your program. And the third one is spectral. Do you have any unique selling point to convince the judges that you have something special to differentiate yourself among peers? So for the last part, you need to have a story to tell and impress your judges. You need to link up all the questions or your answer to put it into a personal story to impress the judges. This is my tips for writing. And the presentation tips is correspond to the writing tips. And I split it into 2 parts. First, before and during the sections. What I just mentioned is that you have a story to tell, you have a storyboard. Last year, one of my colleagues, he made use of Stephen Chow approach, Zhao Xingji approach. Make use of a story like from zero to hero. How can he raise from failure to success? To make it a story, to share his signature program. You need to have you have a storyboard to tell. And the second point that I would like to highlight is anchor, or I call anchoring. You have some unique feature or innovative ideas to demonstrate the success of your program. What I can tell is that once the judges take their smartphone and take a picture of my presentation deck, then I can tell those are my highlight or key point to earn marks. And the last one is the drilling part. The drilling part is quite important. Practice make perfect. You need to spend a lot of time to do rehearsal, peer review, and you probably will ask your supervisor or business leader to give you comments. And each time after they review your presentation, they have comment for you to make it better. So be prepared. For during the sections, if you are well prepared, you need to prepare some of the questions to be asked by the judges. Like if you are familiarized with the program properly, you will think some of the limitation or challenge that you have gone through during your program design or delivery. You need to think about some of the possible questions to be asked by the judges. So the second point, energizing, is about stage performance. Because you are telling about how you give birth to your baby. That is your signature program. How you feed your baby, how you raise your baby, you must be very excited. So be passionate. That's quite important to be energized. And the last one is time. Last year, I overlooked the time because I can't see the time and the clock. So I got some overrun. So I make use of the Q&A sections to supplement my presentation. So this is one of the tips, okay? So this is the picture that I was doing some rehearsal in front of my colleagues, and they took me a picture. Okay, if you are fortunate and competent enough to go through the final round, and I have the chance to go through the final 3, that is the trainer of the year. So you need to answer 6 questions, and all these items carry the same marks, 20 marks, except item 4, flexibility. I got a coach ask me, not a coach, educator, asked me about how I adjust the individual difference of the trainee? Did I engage them through coaching? So you need to quite familiarize with your program and how you engage yourself throughout the learning process. So for the final tips, this is one of my props that I used last year to go through the final round. I got 4 tips for you. Time is very critical. Can you still remember how much time we have for the final round? 5 minutes. You just have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to cover all your material, the entire training program that may be conducted for a year or 2. So you just have 5 minutes. It's quite critical. The time dictates the props that you use. We are not allowed to use presentation deck, just bare hand. You can do stand-up comedy if you are confident enough. So what I use is that I make use of foam board, 2 meter high, 1 meter wide. It's quite heavy enough because I make it strong enough to can be stand or can put on a stand and it won't break and stand with the wind. So I carry it through on my back 1 day before the presentation, you know. And you know, at that time last year, oh no, this year, last year in June, there was social movement, a lot of robots. So I come a lot of challenge, you know, it's so heavy, and I call Coco Wang, and I pick it up at the convention center and put it on the stand. But it is good for me, so I can familiarize with the presentation venue. And the presentation for me is quite open. What I use is just a foam board. Some of them, they may use training materials or some of the props that we use in the training program. And the third point is impact beyond business. I think it tells between the best from the rest. Because it's not only about business impact. It's about how you go beyond the business. Any social impact that you contribute to a particular group, community, or society. So you need to demonstrate this. And the last one, you know, I was facing 7 judges. All of them are business leaders. They got a very challenging questions. You must stay calm and be positive. If you don't know the answer, be cheerful and stay positive. Okay? You can do a lot of skill like paraphrasing, summarizing, asking them to repeat the questions once again, okay? To have some time for you to think about the answer, okay? So last but not the least, about the benefit. For me to go through the program, I have been helping a lot of colleagues to participate in various programs. But I haven't personally involved in this kind of program, so I got a first-person position to go through all this. So it's quite an experience for me. It's a personal or professional growth. You can see the picture. I go with my team. Some of them may be here, okay, to go through this program. It's really a very good team building exercise. I strongly recommend you to go through this. A very good exercise for team building. And during the process, you will earn a lot of friendship internally, externally. You know, a lot of professionals, someone like you, we can learn from each other. Probably you have honor to be recognized internally and externally. And last, you have a lot of network. Like next week, we have a sharing section on how to become a top trainer for next Wednesday, something like that. Probably some of you may have enrolled in these sharing sections. It's good for benchmarking and for best practice learning. So last but not the least, my last piece of message for you. The time that when I was working to prepare the final round last year, I got a message from my colleagues, ex-colleagues. He sent me this message when I was a bit nervous coming to the stage. The message said that a flower does not think of competing to the flower next to it. It just blooms. Just do it. Okay? Thank you.